I can't work it out. It's a brand new tractor for that price. When have we said that in the last 5 years? Now, most of the time when we're doing video reviews on machinery, we've got everything planned, everything we know what we're going to do in a video. And to be fair, this little Iseki compact tractor was no different until I revised the specs and the prices this morning and found out something which I think I need to do differently in this one. And that's because normally I would compare and reference other well-known brands on the market. But today I'm going to compare this against some of the cheaper Chinese alternatives. And the reason being is the price. This tractor here, as it stands, is only £10,750. The question is, what do you actually get for your money? Well, as standard, you get 3-point linkage, a drawbar for towing, 540 PTO, road homologation kit including indicators and mirrors, double-acting spool valves, left-hand forward and reverse shuttle, independent brakes, four-wheel drive, front headlights, rear locking diff, full rollover protection system, sequential manual gearbox, and a 25 horsepower Japanese-built diesel engine. And it even comes with a seat and a steering wheel. Now I think it's time we got on it, started it up, put it into gear, and go and do some work with it. Oh yes, I think something nice and simple to start with, and then we'll get to the more challenging stuff later on. Well, you don't get any more simple than rolling a field, but when doing a mundane task like this, you need a tractor you can trust, a tractor you can rely on, and a tractor that you feel comfortable to drive. And this, the Iseki TM3267 ECO, is that tractor. Now I wanted to compare this to some of the cheaper alternatives because yes, you could spend a little less, but for not much more, you get a Japanese designed, Japanese engineered and Japanese built machine, backed up by a nationwide dealer network. In other words, proper quality with proper support. Iseki offers 6 models in the TM range, but this one, the ECO, is the most straightforward. 25 horsepower and manual transmission. Other options include 19 horsepower models with manual or hydrostatic transmission, and even a 16 horsepower version for those who prefer things a little smaller. So there we are, rolling and harrowing, field work, perfect little tractor for this job, lovely and enjoyable. Manual gearbox, obviously, not hydrostatic. Now, Iseki make a hydrostatic version of this, so you've just got forward and reverse pedals. From that, you then have your brake on the left and you'd have forward and reverse pedals on the right. The further you push those pedals forward, the faster you go. The further you let it off, the slower you go. So it's much, much easier. Now, on the ends there, where I got into the short work, had to use the gears, use the forward and reverse shuttle on the left-hand side. Very, very simple, very, very easy. And yeah, what a lovely roll field I've got now. But I think it's time we put something a little bit more challenging on the back of it. So we've got a little mini power harrow to go on the back, and we've got some, should we say, poached areas where there has been a pony living over the winter, so we can go and level them out. So let's go and get it hitched up, and then we can go and see how well it works. So now we're going to hitch up this beautiful little Winton power harrow behind the tractor. Now, having 3-point linkage on the tractor opens up a world of opportunities to other implements because it has a PTO shaft on the back to be able to run the implement behind. So that could be finishing mowers, could be flail toppers, could be fertilizer spinners, could be chippers. Today is a power harrow. So let's put it on and go and test it. Under the bonnet you'll find a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder diesel engine pushing out 24.4 horsepower at 2,500 RPM. Not earth-shattering, but for a machine of this size, spot on. And because this is a proper tractor, you'll get a mechanical sequential gearbox with 8 forward and 8 reverse gears, plus a left-hand shuttle for easy direction changes. Selectable 2 or 4-wheel drive via a simple lever, and for those inevitable oh dear moments, a manual foot pedal differential lock to get you out of trouble. Now speaking of trouble, tyres matter. This one's fitted with turf tyres, perfect for those who like to keep things neat and tidy. But if you're planning on getting muddy, you can opt for agricultural cleated tyres. So the business end things get even more interesting. The category 1 linkage will lift 600 kilograms. That's impressive. And if you fit the optional high capacity kit, that jumps to a massive 800 kilos. The hydraulics. a pump pushing out 20.8 litres per minute, meaning you can handle log splitters, tipping trailers, offset machinery, you name it. The PTO runs at 540 RPM as standard, but here's the big news: you can fit an optional mid-mounted PTO running at 2000 RPM. That means you can attach an optional 54-inch or 60-inch mid-mounted mower with rear side or mulching discharge. Now I am super impressed with that, and now I know we have only just tickled the top. That's all we needed to do to get rid of the horse ruts. But the little Iseki has done a fantastic job powering that Winton power harrow. Now, in a previous video, we reviewed the Iseki TXGS24, which is sort of the next range up from this one. Now, behind that, we put a wood chipper, which we were very surprised that it could power. But I think we should actually try to see if this will also power a 5-inch wood chipper. So let's go and hitch it up and go and test it. So we've got a little Hansa 5-inch PTO driven chipper on the back. So let's fire the tractor back up, turn the revs up to 2,500 to 540 and get chipping. Now, you might not know this, but Iseki have been making serious moves in Europe and even more so in the UK over the past decade. But they're not newcomers. They've been here for over 50 years and established Iseki Europe way back in 1971. And if you want even more history, Iseki was founded in 1926 in Japan and has played a major role in the development of agricultural machinery worldwide. Their ethos: exceeding customer expectations. This is exactly what this tractor does. We stalled her, we found her limitation, but I think anything would have got that stuck. So that is a solid bit of oak that just stalled that. What's that, like a 4-inch piece of solid oak? Some people with lathes would probably be jealous that that's going in a chipper. Well, some of it went in a chipper anyway. There's no getting away from it. It has made some beautiful chip. There's a bit of a mixture of rotten stuff and obviously hard stuff going in through there. We had a bit of beech and a bit of oak going through, and it's filled our little Bradshaw mini truck up beautifully. Right, let's round this up. So this little Iseki TM3267 has certainly proven itself perfect for field work, perfect for PTO jobs, including the power harrow and the chipper. Now, I was surprised how well this powered the chipper. I was surprised how the other TXG powered it as well. For a 5-inch chipper and what we put through it is very, very surprising. I said in that previous video that had a lot of bottom end torque, and this is no different. Now, at the beginning of this video, I said I wanted to compare it against something cheaper, more alternative, something more cost effective that people might wish to go for. Now, the price of this one I said was £10,750, and I think you get an awful lot for your money. Now, let me show you some of the features which I think really make a difference. Now, on most cheaper alternatives with a manual gearbox, what you'll have is an H-pattern box, generally 1, 2, 3 in Fords, and then you have a reverse gear on that same lever. And then you have 2 different ranges or 3 different ranges offering 6 or 9 Ford speeds and 3 in reverse. Now, with this one, you've got a sequential gearbox. So you've got high and low box here, and then you've also got 1, 2, 3, 4 sequentially. So that gear goes down through, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, making it nice and easy. You're not there trying to work with a synchromesh, trying to grind into those gears. And then for forward and reverse, you've got forwards, and then you've got reverse on the left-hand shuttle. So if you do put an optional loader on this tractor, you could have the loader joystick here, you've got your feet on the clutch and the brake and the accelerator, and you've got your left hand there free to be able to work forward and reverse. Now, I think that is the biggest thing about this tractor, are the gears and how the gearbox works. As I said previously, you can get a hydrostatic model, so you've just got your ranges, and then you've got forward and reverse on the pedals, which makes it a lot easier to be able to go from one to the other rather than having to change gear or have a left left-hand shuttle, but I think it makes a massive difference. Now this reflects all the way through the Iseki range, and that is colour coding on all of your levers. Anything to do with orange is to do with your gears and driving, so your gears are orange, your shuttle's orange, your hand throttle's orange, and even your handbrake's orange. You've got to manoeuvre those to be able to drive forwards or reverse, and then everything yellow is to do with the PTO, and then everything grey is to do with the hydraulics. And then I come to the brakes, because this tractor is actually fitted with independent brakes. Now I haven't demonstrated that in this video because I haven't needed to, but on the brake pedals down here you can actually switch over from having your brakes locked together, or you can flip that little lever over there to work them independently. So pressing that one locks your right hand wheel, locking that one locks your left hand wheel. Now the reason why you would have that is if you're trying to get into narrow, awkward places, you can actually lock, say, the left-hand wheel, so that then you can turn a sharper corner so that that wheel's still driving. And then if you're on the headland or on, I got a heavy piece of machinery on the back where you go to lift it up and you have lighter steering, you can then steer on your brakes as well. That's an amazing feature to have on such a small tractor. Now, I'm not going to say that cheaper alternatives have a poor parts supply, but there are certain brands out there where once you've bought the tractor, trying to get parts isn't as easy as others. Now, one thing you know with Iseki is they've got a fantastic dealer network from the top of the country to the bottom, who are going to be able to look after you and have full spare parts backup, full technical backup, and look after you from as soon as you bought that tractor till the end. So as I said, this beautiful little Iseki TM3267 is only £10,750 as it stands here today. Now you could have optional extras like the front loader, you could have different tyres, you could have an underslung deck so you can do mowing with it as well. So there's lots of different options you can have, but just pop in to your local Iseki dealer and they'll be able to tell you the rest of the details. So now I'd love to hear your comments below about what you think about this little Iseki tractor, or if you think there's something better on the market that we could have used today. And if you like this video, perhaps you'd like to check out the previous one we done on the TXGS24. Great little video, certainly worth a watch. Anyway, I think I'm going to go and do some more work with this little tractor while I've still got it. I need a higher gear. There we go.